Hey Ginger Boy, welcome back once again to Year of the Yoshi Redux. Ludwig's Fort, number 4. I'm not fully looking forward to this. If it's like the actual castle where it leads to an airship. But I digress. We will just play and see what happens. Well, rising tide is what happens. Not really anything super special about that, except it just kind of makes the level a little annoying. That part, however, kind of hard. Should have waited for the tide to go down and be down all the way. Would have made that part a whole lot easier. Well, there's the midway point. That's okay. Now this would probably be better with the tide, but honestly, that was pretty easy as is. And do that. Do that. Yeah, this, I mean, the tide does add a challenge to it because you have to work with the tide, but at the same time this is really easy if you take the tide out. And of course it is a swimming level because this is all swimming area. Okay, that is to be expected. Oh, I thought I was going to squish myself for good. Bloopers. I don't think the bloopers will actually touch you. I think they will just like go down to the level you're at and flop around there. Like, they won't actually touch you unless they're like completely under you. Because if they're above you, except like that, I don't think they'll actually touch you. If I had Fire Flower, however, bloopers wouldn't be as much of a deal. Tide. Not a fan of the tide. Again, it's not even that bad. I mean, certain parts are bad, like this, where the things just aren't good together. But again, if I wait for the tide to go down, it makes this super easy. Except when I get hit by a snowblade because I'm not playing well. Ugh. I don't know. Like, I understand the tide. It's to add challenge. But if I was making the level, I would just forego the tide. It doesn't add anything to the level. Like, that's the big thing. That is the big thing you have to work out, is does an element add to the level? And in this case, it really doesn't. Like, it adds a little bit of challenge, but other than that, it doesn't really add anything to the level. Which is something you want to look at, is what it adds to the level. Because honestly, like, if I just sat and waited for the tide to go down at every place that would affect me with the tide, it doesn't add anything. Like, it just doesn't. Like, right here, I can sit against here and just wait for the tide to go down. And now this part becomes super easy. And it just, the tide doesn't add anything to it. Like that's one of the big things you need to figure out in a level you make. Is does a thing, an instance, a sprite, hazard, anything like that, what does it add to the level? I know I'm dying. I'm dying quite a bit, but it's not because the level is hard. I'm making stupid decisions like that. I rushed. I went too close to the ball and chain. Stupid decision on my part. But again, like, what does the tide add? Except a bit of challenge. Because, as I pointed out, if the player sits back and waits for the tide to go down at any spot that would be considered even slightly challenging with the tide, it takes all of the challenge out of it. Like right here, I'm big. That's going to be a pain to deal with. Like a really big pain to deal with. So I'm just going to wait until the tide goes down. I can dodge all of that stuff super easily. I don't have to worry about it now. Like, that's just what it comes down to. Like, you really need to look at your hazards and decide, does it add anything to the game? And in this case, it really doesn't. Like, the tide really doesn't add anything to the game. Because doing the level without the tide is just as easy as doing it with the tide. And as I said, the tide does add a little bit of challenge just because it pushes you back. If it didn't push you back, you know, your challenge isn't there. But because it pushes you back, it adds just a little bit of challenge. But yeah, I mean, it's really not a challenge at all. And then there's this. Which I do that, get around there. Now I have Fire Flower for the bloopers, which I squander on a blooper. Oh, bloopers. But yeah, that's just one thing you really want to look at. Like, if a sprite really adds challenge to the game. If an instance like the rising tide, okay, I'm just going to fall straight down there. If a rising tide adds challenge to the game, that's what you really want to look at. Is like not to put it in as a gimmick, but put it in under the understanding it may not add a challenge. I'm not a fan of those setup. So that setup with those bloopers. I did mention that they don't go down all the way. Like, if you're ducking, they won't go down all the way to the tile you're on. Except for that, where they were going up. Okay. I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing there. But I can walk here, be safe from everything. Try and figure out what I'm doing. Don't think I did that right. Oh boy. I barely got by there. Barely got by there. Okay, well, that gives me... Now the question is, how does a mushroom work in this instance? Because if I respawn here, those will be mushrooms. Do I get the mushroom? And one thing I brought up in the past, and I mean, I kind of keep bringing it up, the inconsistency of the airship versus level. Like, this one was fairly good because it added a fairly decent challenge to the level before the airship. But like oh, they're just flat out feathers. But like I mentioned, it doesn't really make sense, because you go like midway point, you go in a pipe, and you're in a flooded castle, and then you're in an airship. Like, just inconsistency. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I've touched on that before many times, and I don't really feel like it needs a whole lot of touching on anymore. I think I've overdone it. It's just one of those things that, I don't know, makes me question the airship thing. But again, I have touched on that way too much already. I was hoping, there I could get enough air to fly, so I would have gone over that. But that is not what happened. Oh, flying fish! Why are you here? Okay. I should have just cape swiped instead of jumped. That was my bad. Okay, let's do this again. Let's do this again. And, again, I don't know if I can. I could. I had enough flight, and I was running at P speed before, but I don't know. I just wasn't in the correct position, I will say, to really do anything about it. Probably could have gotten up there somehow. Not really sure how. Those flying fish, I don't think they're generated. I think they're actually placed. Go. Get around these guys, which for whatever reason I have such a hard time with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these flying fish are actually, like, positioned. They're not actually generated. I could be wrong, because now they're kind of seeming generated. But the generator does not last very long. This ship. Oh no. I think I'm having an easier... Fudge. Feels like I'm having an easier time with this ship than others in the past. But again, I had a cape, which I don't have anymore. Well, that is disappointing. Very disappointing. But yeah, cape definitely makes that a lot easier. I had P speed. I don't know why I didn't mark it as P speed. I missed my cape. Oh boy. Okay, now I have to do this capeless and hope. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm probably going to die. Once more. I think what bothers me so much about the airship portion compared to the normal level is, well, there's that. The airship, hold on just a second. Okay, it's been a little while, and I don't even remember anything I was talking about. So, let's just get into this and try to beat this level for once. Because that is a thing that should happen. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so bad at that. I do know I was talking about one of the things about the airships is it feels like it really focuses on enemy spam. Like above all else. It feels like it really heavily does enemy spam. Like, I don't know. Really badly. And I mean, I don't even need to make a point of it. You can see it. You can see what's going on. You can see all the spam. And that's really what makes the airship hard. Is it's not... Oh yeah, I can't fly. I keep forgetting that. I'm like, I keep getting P-speed. You can't fly in this game. That is what I keep forgetting. But yeah, as I mentioned, like, you can see the enemy spam that happens. It's really nothing new. You can see it. You can see it all over the place. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like, you can't get around that at all. There's no getting around the spam. Which is really unfortunate. Because if it didn't have so much spam, it probably would be a much better level. But I wouldn't even call the spam difficulty. I would call it more artificial difficulty. Because you're taking something that's not super hard and making it hard by just spamming bullets and spamming chucks and spamming just enemies in general. Like, that's just what it is. I'm probably gonna die again because of floppy fish and bullets. Oh, I'm not a fan of this. Not a fan of this at all. I've said that many times. I'm not a fan of the airship levels. They're just, I don't know. To me, they just feel thrown in. Like, that's what they feel like. They feel thrown in. They don't really feel like they're really part of the game. Probably because they're just so different. And I have mentioned ways that you could make that better by making the airships, you know, their own thing and having them after the castle so you actually see them on the map type of deal. Like that would help in in making them feel more level, more game. Frick, I hate these guys. They're so bad. They're not even bad. I just always jump into them somehow. I don't really know how. I just always jump into them. Okay, now this again is not so bad. I'm just bad at doing it. I think I've gotten yeah, I've gotten like this far before with the cape. I don't know how I keep losing it. Probably from bullet spam. That's just probably how I keep losing it. And there we go. I keep dying at the end. So now we fight Ludwig von Cooperson. Oh, with bullets! That is, you know, not something I've ever seen before. Wink, wink, hint. Oh, I missed the quick death. Bullets are one of the only... Frick. Oh well, at least he's not hard. Bullets are one of the only things that you can add to Ludwig's fight. Can't really add potobos. Can't add like other sprites. Bullet bills are pretty much the only thing you can add to his fight. Anyway, that is done. Ludwig is done for. And kaboom! Blow up his castle. Ludwig von Koopa has been vanquished with more than the half of stolen Yoshi eggs being rescued. Mario is on his way to find the sacred war pipe where Ice Domain lies. Huh. Okay. Anyway, this has been Inchboy, and I will be back later with more Year of the Yoshi Redux. See you guys then.